You know, I don't ask much for PXW's time, but considering it's been a month, I felt like I needed to come on here. The emotions have been running through me since April 17th, 2021. You know, I don't normally share a lot of things personal to me. Because you've asked me to come on here for a little while, I'm gonna do it. Obviously, I have been very silent on this situation. Obviously, I have been very, very collected about the situation. No one has seen or have heard of me since April 17th. You know, my mom always told me, you find out who your friends are when you're growing up. She said, some of them will be there for the rise, but as soon as you get to the top, everyone wants to watch you fall. And then she said there will be some there for the fall, but then leave you high and dry. But there's never any doubt about Candler. Because for 14 years, I trusted him. For 14 years, I did everything with him. For 14 years, I told him everything. For 14 years, I made sure he was protected. For 14 years, I have done in my power, everything in my power to protect him, to look out for him, to be a friend, and a good one at that. And all this time I thought it went both ways. But once again, another person in my life that has come and gone. Another person in my life that has used me for certain aspects that they want, or certain goals they want to achieve. Another person in my life that has tried, that has come and gone and tried to push me back down the mountain. But Candler, you, out of all people, should know the mile of crap I have had to walk through in the past year and a half to get to where I'm at. Three breakups in a year and a half. Emotionally tough, mentally tough, but I got through it because Candler was there all the entire way, all three times. But as I think about those times, and as I try to wrap my head around the recent events, I think, was he really ever my friend? Was he ever like that? Was our friendship a trapdoor that everyone else could see but mine? Was our friendship something that I was so blind to see was made to be broken? It's like everyone could see it crumbling down but me. Did he change? Or was I just too selfish, too self-absorbed to see anything else going around me? These questions I have asked myself for the last month and wondering why. That's an answer I can't give to you. Only one man has that answer. And unfortunately, me and that man is no longer friends. But we were more than friends, Kaylin. We were brothers. We had each other's back. And no matter what we did, no matter what we said, we knew we always met back here where it began, where the very spot it began. Because we had that. When I think about times with me and Candler, there's not a lot of negatives. We had a lot of fun. It was a friendship. Although me and him both have siblings, we were kind of like the brothers we never had. And then one day, Candler Stone becomes a 3-time world champion. And within 3 seconds of a referee's count, Candler Stone changed. And he changed for the worse. And as I went out there to give my friend the ovation that he deserved, he kicked me right back down that mountain that I've tried to climb for the 1.5 years. Probably the most confusing, the most frustrating, the most aggravating 1.5 years of my life. So like I said, I don't normally share a lot of things personal to me, but what happened to me? I used to be the guy who pushed people over. I used to be the guy who pushed people down that mountain. And it seems as if Candler Stone's now that guy. But Candler, they say people never change. Although I have changed my ways, although I am not the same person I was a year ago, Candler, it seems as if you have your demons. And I got mine. I used to be the type of kid who wanted everything for himself. Didn't care about anyone or anything around me. It was all about Jaden Vane. It was all about the guy who the body I'm living in. It was all about making sure my needs were met. To hell with everyone else, right? We just wanted it all. But success left me with nothing. Success left me with no friends, no enemies, no one beside me, no one in front of me, and no one behind me. It left me with nothing. A lot of people have said, Jaden, do you know what you're getting yourself into? They tell me your career's on the line. They tell me it's a 1-hour Ironman match and anything goes. So whatever Candler Stone wants to do to me, he can. But you're talking about the guy who's always been content being a big fish in the ocean. You're talking about the guy who's always been content being number 2. You're talking about the guy who's just now deciding to man up and do things on his own. You're talking about Candler Stone, the guy whose PXW priority list is at the very bottom. Because you want to know why? Because On Candler's priority list, PXW is at the very bottom, and you want to know why that is. Because no matter what Candler Stone has ever done, no matter what it has ever been, rather it has been sports, basketball, wrestling, anything, he has always been content with number 2. And arguably, day in, day out, for the last year and a half, I've been the guy to beat. I have been the guy here, no matter what. I've stayed here when they treated me like crap. I stayed here. I stayed by their side, even after the hand-chosen favorite, Nick Cage, left town for greener pastures and more money. I've stayed here. And I've become the guy to beat. I become the man of this company. And yet, Candler Stone is walking around with a PXW World Heavyweight Championship draped around his shoulder, around his waist, and the label, he ain't no champion. He's not a champion because he don't fight for it. My question is, what's worth being champion if you're not willing to fight for it? And yes, Candler, you are challenging me to a match. But even at the 1-year anniversary show, something I wanted to attend to, but because I thought it wouldn't be professional, I didn't show up. Instead, I accepted my challenge the way I felt was needed. You didn't defend the championship. No, Candler, you went out there and you wanted to do business because you wanted to publicly humiliate me once more. You turned on me. Fool me once. Shame on me. You said some horrible things about my brother. Fool me once. Fool me twice. Shame on me. And now you want to end my career at the biggest of bigs. Now you want to end my career at the granddaddy of them all. Now you want to end my career once and for all at the grand spectacle that is Excitement 2. And you want to do it in a 1-hour Ironman match. Shame me. Fool me 3 times. Shame on you. Because Candler Stone, you've knocked on a door you didn't want answered. Through frustration, through heartache, through everything I have gone through for the last year and a half, I have kept all of that in. I have kept a year and a half, 18 months of every passing moment, of every passing day. I have lived through everything that has happened in the past 18 months, and I have kept that frustration. I have kept that bitterness. I have kept that anger in, and I'm gonna let it all loose at Excitement 2, because June 13th, 2021, Jaden Vane becomes a 2-time PXW World Heavyweight Champion. So remember the name, because you all will be screaming it later.